All right, so we're set that our paper is 11 by 8.5. Our pen widths are set up. And now we are good to move our title block because we know that the paper size is good. So what you want to do is scale your title block so that it just fits inside of this dashed line. And you'll have to play around with the scale a bit to find out which number works best for you because it's not going to be a set number for everybody. It really depends on the printer. So if I go back to the Home tab and do scale, I'll scale this, enter. My base point is going to be that bottom corner. And I'm going to try, because it's hard to do it with the mouse, right? So I'm going to try 1.05. See if that, oh, that was way too big. So I'll undo that and try it again. .01. That was better. I can live with that. Alright, so the title block's pretty good. And the paper is set up. And now we need to mess around with the scale. So we want to print 1-to-1 scale, and we definitely don't want our drawing to be like way over our title block and everything. So we need to get that set up and ready to print. All right, so we want to move our viewport border away and out of the way. So we're going to click on it and expand it, but we're not going to move it completely away, right? Well, first we're going to move it to the viewport layer. So click on it and move it to the viewport layer. And then we're going to click it off and make sure you don't make it the same size as your title block. So I'm going to take my snaps off so I don't click to the title block, because then you're never going to be able to access it. And we need to be able to access our viewport border. There we go. So I have mine just outside the title block. So now we'll have the one that we drew and the one that AutoCAD made. All right, so now we want to click on the viewport border that AutoCAD made. And down here in the status bar, this will allow us to change the scale of whatever is in our model space. So click on that little arrow and say, I want 1-to-1. And there we go. It makes everything in the model space 1-to-1. Did you notice how that changed? But now we need to go in here and move it around, right? So we can see it. So how do we get into model space from layout space? Well, we're just going to double click. So double click inside of the viewport border. So the viewport border kind of gets highlighted, and now we're in model space. You see, I can select everything. All right, so we want to move things around, but we don't want them to get out of projection with each other. So I'm going to turn on my ortho. We haven't used that one yet. So ortho, which means that I can only move 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. All right, so I'm going to move these two views up. You see how I can't move to the right? I can just move up. So move that one up, and I'll move the top view up a little bit, get it away from the front view. And then I'll move the right view over a little bit. There we go. So now we can see all three views, and we'll get out of the viewport, or out of the model space, and we'll double click outside of the viewport border. And now see, we're in layout space, not in model space anymore. Okay, now we're ready to edit our title block. But to edit it, we need to explode it. So we will explode, use the explode command. Explode, select it, enter. And now we can edit these individual features. So edit the part name. So we'll go DD edit because we have a lot of things to edit. Part name is angle block. Drawing number 1, 2, 3. Revision number 1. Size A, scale 1 to 1. The weight, we don't know it, so just delete that. Sheet 1 of 1. Finish all over. Material, aluminum. All right, and change the date to whatever the date is, and that should be it. Okay, so the last thing, now that you have everything the way you want it, I mean, this is exactly how it should print out. What you see in the layout space is exactly how it should print out. So you just do application button, print, plot, and everything should be set because we set up the page already, so everything should be set. And all you have to do is preview it, make sure, and there we go. And you see the preview shows the line widths. See how pretty that is? And then if everything is okay, you just, oh, I saw one thing that was not okay, so I'm going to cancel this. We forgot to hide our viewport layer. So I saw a bit of the viewport border in here. So I'm going to turn the viewport layer off. So once you're done messing around with the scale and everything, you can turn the viewport layer off. And let's preview it again. There we go. That little line over here is gone. All right, so everything is good. And you can print it, say OK. All right, so the next part will be doing the same thing but in a metric drawing.